What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to explore the Alliance War showcase by finishing the right hand side of it. I have already done the left hand path and the video is already up on the channel. If you want to check that out, you can click the top right hand of your screen and see that right now. And now we are going to take on this Spider-Man Supreme with our rank 3 7-star bullseye. This is who we used for the first path as well, and as I said in that video, with a bullseye, this guy is this is a joke fight. This is nothing. He ignores miss, he ignores everything. You can just evade the SP2 and treat it like a normal fight. Just do an intercept once in a while to remove his protection, and after that he is just a potato on defense. You can clearly see that this is my first special that I'm launching and he is already down to 14% health. That is insane, and I'm just going to finish it off with a striker. Even though he has protection up, we are going to finish it off with a striker and SP1. That was a really quick fight. Let me see how long it was. It was 42 seconds. It was relatively longer, compared to the average runs that I've had with bullseye in that fight. It is usually 35 seconds, so that was comparatively longer. And now we have the leader, and we are again going to use Black Cat on this leader. She just melts him. She completely melts him. Black Cat is amazing for this quest. Black Cat is amazing for this leader boss, and we are going to use her once again in the quest this time around. Last time on the left path, this was the only fight I used her on, but we have one more use for her in this quest because I am not carrying a Spider Ham. My team is a 7-star rank 3 bullseye, 7-star rank 3 Black Cat, a 6-star ascended Gallon, and a 6-star ascended Maestro. And we are going to use the Gallon and Maestro for the right hand side of the quest, which is, I think, the tougher part of this quest, because the left hand side was much easier compared to this. Not really easier, I think the left hand side is much more gameplay wise difficult, and the right hand side requires a lot more counters, because if you don't have counters to the right hand side, then you are pretty much doomed, because you can't take these fights without a proper counter, and Gallon is one of the best counters for this Omega Sentinel right here, because she is going to repeatedly try to power drain you, and you are repeatedly going to gain your charges, and you will ramp up in no time. As you can see here, I'm just going to do parry medium light, and it is going to be really fast. I'm already at 250 charges, and we have basically just started the fight. I'm at 400 charges now. 450, 530, 600 charges. I can just throw the heavy right now and ramp up really quick. I'm fully ramped up, and we are just 30 seconds into the fight, which is pretty insane for a 6-star ascended champion. 33 seconds and she is dead. Moving on, we will be using Gallon for Captain America Sam Wilson. Gallon is not shock immune, but he is going to gain his charges, so that is going to help us a lot. Here my screen recording stopped for some reason, and I put on boosts at that time, so I have 20%, 15% and 20% boosts going on right now. We don't really need these boosts for this fight, but we are going to need it for the Jessica Jones fight, because I am going to use my Maestro on that fight, and that fight is going to be a slog. Right now Gallon doesn't really benefit from the boosts. His damage does not scale with the boost, so we are just putting it on right now, because we have to put it on anyway. So I just put it on right now for the extra health. And again, we are going to play it the same way we played the Omega Sentinel. Just parry medium light, just parry medium light, and that is it. Throw your heavy SP1 and that is game. This Galen can be a really big problem if you don't have Galen. I tried Hulkling on this fight and it was honestly not that great. It didn't go that well. He is shock immune, but the House of Mirror Snore is going to mess you up a lot. He is not clarity, so you will have to play around that. Galen is one of the best counters for this fight, and other than that there are not many counters, which makes this right hand side of the quest relatively so much more difficult than the left side, because the left side had so much counters. You had so many counters to Mojo, to Shocker, to what, Wolverine was toast anyway. So Mojo and Shocker were like the real fights of that quest, but they had so many counters. But this path, Jessica Jones, Sam Wilson and Omega Sentinel, these have very very limited options, and you have to be really careful while fighting them. You have to make sure that you don't overdo your combos, you don't overdo anything, because you can die really really quick. And here we just finish it in 1 minute 25 seconds, just spamming light mediums and SP1 and heavies, and that is just it with Galen. And we just finished with 50% health, even while playing it so careful. I did take a special 3 to my face, and not special 3, special 1 to my face. Did I say special 3? Yes, I think I did. And here we have a Quicksilver fight. This fight is nothing really that hard. I just use Bullseye. If you have Bullseye, this fight is not going to take long. Even with other champions, I could have used Black Cat here as well. This fight is pretty straightforward compared to the other fights on this path, but you have to be careful not to take the SP2 into your block, because you are going to have that node where your block proficiency decreases with every blocked hit that you take, so you have to be careful with that. Other than that, it is pretty straightforward. Just bring a clarity champion to ignore his evade and auto block, and you will be fine. Here we just throw the SP2 and finish it off. He is not going to gain much power after he gets 2 bars of power, so you can cheese a lot of stuff with this. You can get a lot of damage in after he gets 2 bars of power, so that is another thing to keep in mind. Moving forward, we have a Jessica Jones, and this fight was honestly the toughest fight of this entire quest for me, because I don't have a 7-star rank 3 Maestro and a 6-star ascended Maestro. I had to boost up for this fight, because this fight can take really long, and you have to take lots of blocked hits into your block. Lots of blocked hits into your block. Am I saying that correctly? I think I am. And here we just take this fight really slow. You have to take this fight really slow. You can't really throw your specials that much, like we can just throw it once maybe before she ramps up. So I threw it right here just to gain my fury. I gained 2 furies while I could, to get some damage in, and we also have to make sure we hit her frequently to keep our clarity charges up. We have 3 right now, and she is just try to, the thing here is just make sure to bait only the SP2 and don't let her throw SP1s, and don't throw your specials, just throw SP1. I did throw a special here, but thankfully she didn't hit me. I had glancing up, so it couldn't have hurt that much, but still try not to throw your specials, and keep your clarity charges up and bait her SP2s. That is really the game, and you will be fine if you do that, if you can do that, which is not that just straightforward, to be honest, because she is going to want to throw that SP1 a lot of times. But you have to just do 4-hit combos, put your block up, and she will be less likely to throw that, hopefully. But these days the AI is going crazy, so you never know, she might even throw it then. And you just have to, while she has the unstoppable up, you just have to be passive and bait her heavies, and then do your hits, and you can do the SP3 after that. That is really the only special attack that you can do. And Maestro, he doesn't really he doesn't really get that much out of his SP3. It is just to create the spacing that is required for the fight, because he pushes Jessica Jones back a lot with his SP3, and here I almost pushed her to the SP3, but thankfully we didn't do it over the SP3. And here it is going to be a long fight. Try to keep your glancing up, because if you mess up you can at least take a hit to your face, but try not to mess up, because that can really mess up the whole flow of the fight. And try to only bait SP2s, because that way you have to deal with unstoppable much less. This fight also has very few counters. I have seen people do it with I've seen people do it with that, what is it called, shields. I've seen people do it with shields. I have seen people do it with Valkyrie, and I am doing here with Maestro. Other than that, there are not many counters for this fight, which again is the reason why this path is so difficult, because the fights here, these have really very few counters, and if you don't have these counters, you are going to take a lot of help from your unit, man. And that is really the best option if you don't have these three champions, or it is going to be like you have to revive up and just keep doing it again and again and again till you get her down with a Hercules or something. So that is that. The fight has been going on for a long time, and we have only just reached 50%, which is really long for a normal Alliance War showcase fight. She does have 500,000 health, which is a lot of health in my opinion for anything like this. Like, opponent should have like 300k 400k health maximum. 500k Jessica Jones with only 3 counters. I think this is a bit too much for Alliance War showcase, but it is what it is. We are taking her down with Maestro. We are getting down on health right now. I'm at 32 and she is at 37, which is not a position you want to be in. You always want to hope that you always want to try for her to be lower health than you. So right now we are at 33 both, but you want to be a little higher than her, because that is the way you can have a safety net sort of to mess up and still be safe in the fight. And Maestro is pretty good. He is immune to hazard shift, he is immune to poison, he is immune to incinerate, he is immune to both the debuffs that she applies, but other than that he doesn't really counter much. He is a great champion for this, because you don't have to worry about, at least you will not die instantly like most champions, right? Which is the reason I like Maestro so much, because he is not a potato on offense. He is not a completely defensive champion like most people think he is. He is an amazing attacker for Alliance War, for these questing style matches, for the Crucible that we got. He is amazing for these kind of things, and this is what makes Maestro so good. And I wish I had the 7-star Maestro. I would have taken him to rank 3 in an instant, but I have not done Necropolis 100%, and honestly I have no motivation to do that right now. I will do that in future, maybe sometime when Kate Bishop is released as a 7-star, maybe, or we have 7-star rank 6, so I can just take Shuri up to 7-star rank 6, and then I will do that. But right now I really don't want to do that and go in again with Aegon or Kate Bishop and spend like units in Necropolis paths, because that is not really my kind of thing. And we just finish it off here with a casual medium hit, and this was a long fight. This was 6 minutes and 13 seconds, but we did manage to get out alive, which is really the only thing that matters. And here we have an America Chavez. I am going to use a Black Cat on this America Chavez here. in my left side run I used a spider ham, but I really didn't have space to carry spider ham this time around, so I had to use black cat. And black cat did really good on this fight. Surprisingly, I was not expecting her to be this good for America Chavez, but she is. Just try not to push her to SP2 because she has that special 2 bias. She also has enhanced power gain. She also has unblockable SP2, so try not to push her to SP2 or it is going to be a really difficult time to deal with that. Try not to push her to SP2, bait her SP1s, try not to dex too much, don't give her mistake dispersion, and you will be fine. And here we just trying to get to our SP2, get our. You don't have to worry about clarity charges in this fight because she is not House of Mirrors, so she is not going to evade or auto block you. Here we throw our SP1, get the sabotage debuff up, fail some of our abilities. We did get the dexterity buff, but it's alright. We can evade now because we already have the dexterity buff, so it's not going to matter much. Here we try to parry her SP1s and we are just melting her right now. She is already at 25% health, and it's crazy to me how some fights can go so quickly. Like, you know, some fights are like 30 seconds in this quest. Some fights are like, this was 59 seconds, like under a minute. Some fights are under a minute and some fights are 6 minutes long. And it's not like I'm using a wrong champion because there are literally 3 counters to it. And I don't have a Valkyrie ranked up, and I don't have a Chills at a higher rank as well. I have her at 7-star rank 1, and I don't want to use a 7-star rank 1 champion that I am not even comfortable with for a difficult fight, you know. And here we just swap Venom with Gallon, and we are going to take the arcade boss this time around with Venom. I took him with Maestro last time around, but Maestro is really low on health, so we are going to try Venom. And Venom is amazing for this champion. You can just, you know, bait the first part of his special attack and build your clarity charges up, and you will not have to deal with his evade or auto block after that, because that is the only thing that makes arcade so difficult, is the auto block and the parry mastery. You can just he can stun you a lot of times, he can catch you off guard, he can hit you with the special attacks, he can hit you with damage over time debuffs. Here we just push him to SP3 because we have the invulnerability boost on, so we can tank the SP3 3 times. So we just push him to SP3. He is already at 55% health, so it doesn't really matter. We can take the SP3 to the face. And Venom is going to choose a door right now. He is going to choose the shock door, I think. Yes, it was the shock door, which is pretty fine. We are going to heal up quite a bit from willpower, so we are taking like 500 per take, which is fine. He is going to be toast before that damage does anything to us. We can take 2 more SP3s after this, but we don't really have to because he is already dead in a single SP3 cycle. And we just finish it off really quick. This boss was 1 minute and 8 seconds long, and Jessica Jones was 6 minutes. Like, she was over 6 minutes. That to me is insane. And we just finished the path without using any revives, without using any potions, which is amazing. And we are not quite there at the Titan crystal yet, but we did get the gems. So let me know what you guys think about this, and let me know who you guys used for this. If you did it reviveless, if you did it itemless, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Till that time, peace out.